Sure. Thank you very much. Hopefully you can hear me clearly, Comrade Haman and all comrades in the diaspora. I request that you bear with us, comrades. Every now and then we keep being interrupted by the network, but it's our hope and prayer that we'll be able to, finish our interaction, comrades. I was still addressing you on where we stand if we don't win this struggle, and also telling you what we stand for as the National Unity Platform, what our promise is to our country. I was briefing you that for us what we promise is a renewed hope, and I was telling you that we have a promise of a vision built on 5 strands, but most importantly and firstly is a people-centered governance, well knowing that we as a country deserve much more than what we are being presented with. We deserve the country that works for all citizens. We deserve a government that respects the rights of all citizens. Uganda deserves a corruption-free government. We deserve a government that is a servant government to us, a government which does not, cover up murders of for criminals, a government which serves justice to all of us equally. We deserve fairness and equal opportunity, no matter what your first or last name is, no matter what your tribe is. We deserve a government where jobs are not given to people from one region and there's no shame. We deserve to all be Ugandans and be proud of the fact that we are Ugandans. That is our first promise. Our second promise is equal access to quality services, especially healthcare and education. You all know we cannot, continue to live in a country where hundreds of thousands of children drop out of school and they're left for dead. We cannot live in a country where the government does not, care for children that are suffering from the nodding disease, a government which abandons thousands of children. For example, 7,000 children or even more have been defiled, abused during this lockdown. We don't see that as a top government priority. So we want a government that looks at that and sees it as a problem. We want to improve the healthcare services, just like in education. We must prioritize the welfare of our people instead of spending all this money in millions of dollars buying weapons to simply scare off our people, to intimidate our people. We must invest in these resources. We must invest in the people, have these resources, channeled to ventures that are going to be helpful to our people, bettering our education, make it still or skill-oriented, better our arts and athletics, start viewing them like they're viewed in the developed world. And this, we have lived it, we feel it, and we know if we have the mandate, we shall fix it. Our third agenda point is inclusive economic development. What we have today is an economy that is owned by a few against the many. The few connected people, the few powerful people, they own the entire economy, while the majority are just, they are servants suffering in stinking poverty. You have seen it, you have witnessed it, ladies and gentlemen. We live in it every day today, and we're struggling to ensure that the people of Uganda come out of that stinking poverty. Whether one is a teacher, or one is a police officer, or one is a farmer, or one is a singer, or one is a border rider, they all deserve to live a dignified life because our country is endowed, ladies and gentlemen. So we have, to fix it. We also believe in national security and international relations. Countrymen and women, General Museveni is boasting of bringing security. But we all know, as we are taught by the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., that peace is not only absence of war, but peace is the presence of justice. So if there's no justice, you cannot claim that there is peace, you know. You cannot promise to ensure peace in Uganda simply by pacifying the situation. We must have socio-ecological peace, we must have physical peace, and we must have economic peace. You know, what is the use of us being at peace when we are not at peace with our neighbors? We only pretend with them. We must make sure we are at peace with neighbors. We must make sure there's no Cold War between us and our neighbors. You know, we must not be warmongers like the current regime is. We must export peace in order to import peace. We must live in peace and harmony and in respect for our neighbors. We believe in that. Our fourth point is land, agriculture, and natural resources. You see, our country, we all know, is called the Pearl of Africa because it is endowed. We have natural resources that are sufficient to sustain our country and its people. But you know what? The problem is that General Museveni looks at Uganda as his personal property. He looks at Lake Victoria, Lake Narubale as his personal property. He looks at the oil in Bunyoro as his personal property. You have even heard him saying, my oil. He looks at the gold in all parts of Uganda as his personal property. And we must reverse this. We must, have all these resources belonging to Ugandans. Those in power must not take Ugandans for fools. We must make sure that all the natural resources of Ugandans are for the benefit of all Ugandans. Now, regarding land, we have noticed the rampant land evictions by the rich and the powerful.